Hello everyone, welcome to my Pathfinder Wrath of the Righteous Azata playthrough. Last time, as you can see, well, we're now in a mysterious sort of laboratory. Last time we got a bit sidetracked from hunting for the dragon. Oh, good thing I stopped. Okay. Well, yeah, last time, we got basically trapped in this laboratory last time. We talked to our friends at our Azata court, and they said they could send us to wherever our heart desired, sent us to this cabin. The minute we clicked on something, we got warped into this lab, and are now trying to work our way out. And it's Areelu Vorlesh's lab, who's... we've met her before. She's the one that kind of created the world wound and started the whole demon invasion. And so it's a pretty important antagonist. But anyway, let's go on with things. Oh, so this is like the heart of the laboratory. I think we did most of the kind of bulk of it last time, but we were told to come and look for this book, which we've found. A ripped book lies in the centre of the room. Beneath the title in large letters, Lexicon of Paradox, are lines of text written in hasty, bold script. A shimmering purple haze rises from the pages. You're about to step over the threshold when the haze glows brighter. The power within you responds, roiling in agitation. But you feel no sense of danger. Rather, it's as though you are experiencing a chemical reaction to this unknown phenomenon. Look around. You are distracted by a rustling sound and the heavy thud of ungainly footsteps. The Dretch looks decidedly pitiful up close. This is her servant, her assistant, very Igor. The Dretch looks decidedly pitiful up close. Without the crude stitching that crisscrosses his face, it seems his body would simply fall to pieces. Oh, that's very Igor.
So you made it to our treasure trove. Why not take a treasure for yourself? This is knowledge and power. Right now it's nothing, but it will become what you want it to be.
The Dretch points at the book. The demon's voice is laden with a strange yearning. He looks at the purple shimmer and can't take his eyes off it for several seconds. Yeah, there's an alignment option for taking the book on every front, or you can take it in a neutral sense. I refuse to do them as I'm told. First, you'll answer my questions, demon.
Go and ask them then. I don't have all day.
I see a book, but you're talking about some kind of power. What does that mean?
This book is an old notebook for recording experiments. The power is the result of one of those experiments. My lady decided to bind it to the pages for some reason. It's the ultimate convergence of theory and practice, savvy? She gave a lot to learn how to cultivate and strengthen souls, and this is the result.
You're just going to give me this power to me?
As if one mutilated Dretch could stop you. That's not it. My lady knew that sooner or later, someone would come for the book. She told me not to interfere. She doesn't tell me her reasons. She said to come here and wait, to make sure that the gift finds its owner. That's what I've done. She also told me not to hide from whoever comes, so I haven't.
Yeah, it's like Areelu Vorlesh is, like, grooming us, or kind of like, trying to tailor us into something, but we don't know. Like, she put us in Canabris to begin with. She seems to be intrigued by our power and wants it to grow, but she hasn't mentioned why, so we don't really know what our motivations are. Maybe she's turned against the other demons in the world wound, or wants the invasion to stop, or maybe I think the reason she gave was that she's the architect. She likes to kind of build things and create scenarios, so maybe she's just trying to see what happens, like an experiment. What experiments are mentioned in the book?
All of them. Rifts, mythic powers, planar magic, transformation, hibernation. All them things that I obviously know a lot about. You've seen the lab, of course. I also know that the book contains everything about her work on the world wound. It's a pity. The book's looking worse for wear. Who knows what notes are still left inside?
Tell me about Canabris and your transformation into a halfling. I want details.
You're a shrewd one, aren't you? Nothing gets past you, does it? She wants details, she says. was disguised as a halfling, yes. Did I have to drag your body to the Crusaders? I did. Did I then have to slip you a weapon? I did. Do you think I'd have managed all that if I'd been gallivanting around Canobris in my own skin? As to the purpose of the whole performance, don't ask me. I know nothing. My lady don't bother sharing such details with me.
Okay, I found out everything I wanted to know.
That's good. That's good indeed. Knowledge leads to progress, eh?
What a charming demon. He certainly does not wish us any harm. There's no reason at all for us to doubt his words. There is no possible way that this book could be a nefarious trap. Not in the slightest.
Is that sarcasm, Darren? We're not going to refuse the book. We're going to take it. Do we take it for good or for chaos? I must learn the secrets of those responsible for the world wound so I can defeat them, or I don't care about warnings, prohibitions, or intrigues. I'll do things my way. Yes, we're in a dark place. Let's be a bit darker about this. It's tempting, isn't it? Oh, are we getting another mythic rank? Looks like it. Your fingers barely graze the book when the purple glow flares brightly and a series of inscriptions, diagrams and sketches flashes by, imprinting themselves in your memory as if you've always known them. Power fills you just as wrathful and overwhelming as in the battle for the Wardstone or the moment you acquired the Sword of Valor. The Paradox of Lexicon Part 1. Are we getting another flashback? Yeah, looks like it.
Discari's here. Discari himself. Blimey! One minute we had a dragon, the next, bam, she was gone. What are you gonna do? Fight or flee? If flee is your plan, let me help you out. I've got a scroll here with a good protective spell.
I think in the actual original thing he did offer a weapon as well, but yeah, we chose to take the weapon. The halfling's armour is splashed with blood and he is armed to the teeth, with a sword, a blade and a hatchet on his belt and a crossbow on his back. His voice sounds familiar to you. Care to lend me a weapon? I'll try to fight the demons.
Sure thing. Here, take this. Best crossbow I've got. The person who made it said it could pierce the hide of a demon lord even.
The halfling holds out the crossbow.
Good luck! Try not to get eaten now!
The halfling's words are drowned out by a terrible rumbling and the rustling of countless tiny wings. Oh, this feels like a long time ago.
Yes, very good. A dose of bravery or a bit of honor. It could be nothing else. Or perhaps her instincts are hinting.
Areelu trails off.
Milady, this creature's about to die. Shouldn't you...
Oh yeah, she did a featherfall spell on us as well.
That's it.
We saw that in another
I've done
flashback.
as she asked. Now I can return to my lady.
The suture looks at you with a strange expression. Envy, sorrow, yearning, understanding? You can't be sure. Why did Areelu need someone to shoot Discari back in Canobris?
She needed to spill his blood. The blood of a demon lord is a powerful thing and very useful, you see. It's a priceless reagent. You can make so many things out of it. A wondrous blade, for example, that can turn even a wardstone to dust.
I wonder what happens if we take the spell then. Go, and tell Areelu that I'm tired of her riddles.
Riddles aren't always bad. Farewell.
Open a rift. I'm hesitant to do that in case it just warps us out. We found some survivors that have been kind of holed up in here since the laboratory was abandoned. An unsettling light twinkles from the crystal. Lines of mysterious magical patterns spread out around it. I don't want to leave this place without them, if possible. And given what happened when we were sent here, I literally just clicked on something and it forced us down here. I don't want to click on something else and it forced us out. An experiment transformation. There must be somewhere where we can watch these, surely. Is this the one? Oh, there you go. The strange device with a slot for a crystal awaits your next move. Place the secret of great sorcery crystal in the socket.
Well, well. It seems that someone has been meddling with my projector without permission.
Oh, this is before she was a demon.
How many times have I told you not to do that? I made this recording for the sole purpose of telling you that when I return, I shall be very, very angry.
Okay. Was that Suta that did that, or? Because yeah, that's before that's before she opened the world wound.
Day
yeah, that's
20,
what she looks like now.
Farast 4606. Experiment: the suture. Subject: former Arachne subjected to extreme exposure when passing through the world wound. As a result of this exposure, the demon was reborn as a dretch, a unique event in demonology. The reborn demon also acquired serious malformations, which did not respond to standard treatment methods. Objective: to assess the threat to other demons to stabilize passage through the world wound. The survival of the subject is also desirable for the purposes of further observation.
And I guess to be your little assistant. So I guess that's Suta's backstory. Experiment transformation.
Day 28. Colastrill 4606.
Oh.
Experiment: transformation. Subject: Areelu Vorlesh. Human female with a clear affinity for arcane magic. Objective: to fuse a mortal soul with the essence of the abyss. Predicted result: the formation of a full-fledged half-demon on the basis of a mortal being. Potential risks unknown. The death of the subject is extremely likely. I will continue to monitor the experiment for as long as I can.
So she turned herself into a demon. Okay. I assumed it was Discari that transformed her. I think that's what people say, is that she was turned into a demon as a reward for opening the world wound. Before we open the rift, let's actually I'll just do a quick save. If opening this rift forces us out, I'll reload and come back and do anything I can. Okay, so that just opens the way out. Cool. Okay, so before going out there, we'll finish looking around, and then we'll go and tell our friends, or the survivors that we found. We'll go and tell them that we have opened a door. Hopefully we'll be able to. Oh, these just sort of lead back round. Yeah, we searched the old... There were two kind of sections of the laboratory. So this was the old wing, and then this was the path that kind of led to the heart of the laboratory. We had to go through like a weird dream sequence when we opened the door. What's this circle on the floor? Every last object in this spacious chamber seems to thrum with secrets and formidable power. This appears to be the heart of the laboratory. It does indeed. That's the way we came. Okay. Let's go this way then. What do you mean locked? Have I got to come all the way back out this way then? Okay. Go around the long way. Because we can pass through... Originally when we were trapped, there were barriers that couldn't stop anyone but demons from passing through them. But then when we found the one to the heart of the laboratory, Suta gave us the key. So hopefully we should be able to get through this one now. Is everyone caught up? There we go. Oh, hello. Maybe should have prepared a bit. Oh, have we fully recharged? Oh, definitely should have prepared a bit then. It's okay.
I will resist.
We can handle it. Allbrig. And Nest. Do a... Oh, I guess we've not fully recharged. Do a force punch attack. Lovely. Annoyingly, Woljif got hit by a... Oh, okay. Don't complain then. Feeble Mind's been removed. Do a haste. Seems that our companions got a rest, but we didn't. Okay, Ivy. Come up and do an attack. Darren, do prayer. Try a one-hit kill, why not? No, I didn't overcome the spell resistance. Take 5 shots at the Derachne. And then just attack it. Nest, you can do... Why didn't we get a full recharge? Everyone else got a full recharge. Left out to dry. Do it.
Cover me, all
So
right?
yeah, Woljif. That's actually really helpful because I was why can't we attack it? Turn off turn-based mode.
Disappear.
Okay. This is just waiting for its turn. Lockpicker's kit 2. I thought that might be keys or something. I thought this door would lead to whatever this is. I guess that's not something we can access now. It's just locked. Okay. Let's go and tell the people that we found. I don't want to leave without them. So I imagine... Because obviously this is a pretty big story beat, so I think whatever mythic path you do, you'll end up here. But I don't know... Because we were just sort of teleported here by our Azata friends, so I don't know if we got here earlier because of the Azata path. I don't know if every mythic path has this happen, where there's a way to be transported somewhere and you end up here. Or maybe on the other paths you just have to find it naturally while walking around the world wound. Let's talk to... Yeah, these are the survivors we found. Are you still looking for a way out? We found a way out. Okay. Examine the barrier surrounding the frozen angel shimmers disconcertingly. Examine the barrier. The barrier appears to have been created from the essence of the abyss and reinforced with spells repelling any living creature not of this dark place. Oh. Should we free the angel? I found a way out. Okay. You see a beautiful silver-haired woman whose face displays unusual heavenly tranquility. Now you can get a good look at her wings. One looks strong and is covered in white feathers, just as you would expect of an angel. But the other wing, it looks like a framework of mismatched bones, with a grimy purple substance stretched across instead of webbing, and it is covered in something akin to scabs or strange scales. Targona. The angel awakens, unexpectedly inclines her head in greeting. I do not know who you are, stranger, but thank you for freeing me. I am Targona, blade of Iomede's heavenly host. My captivity, though I was ignorant of it, lasted so long. How did you end up here? I was brought here from the brink of death. I had been fighting the Baelor Darazand alongside a troop of crusaders when we were struck by the echo of Discari, a demon of terrifying power and cunning. I think we've heard of Targona before. I think when we got the sort of the mythic kind of power right at the beginning, we saw a vision of this. A demon of terrifying power and cunning and an old enemy of mine. All my comrades perished, and the two demons set upon me like predators savaging a bird. The echo ripped off my wings and left me to die among the bodies of those I failed to protect. And then she appeared, the architect of the world wound. The angel's gaze darkens. Sometimes I am amazed at the vast power, terrifying or benevolent, that can reside in a mortal. However, Areelu is no longer mortal. She brought me here. She treated me as much she could, or as much as she deemed necessary. I can hardly remember those first days in the laboratory. Pain, strange magic, purple flames flickering around me. Areelu spent hours casting spells over me. I was chained the whole time, though I was too weak to fight or flee. There was nothing else for me to do but talk to her, and to try to glimpse inside that black soul. I don't know what I hope to find in there. Perhaps the smallest glimmer of light. Hope that all this could be remedied. All I saw was twilight, a veil of arrogance and secrets that Areelu used to keep herself separate from the world. Her thoughts were occupied by some grand experiment. I was of little interest by comparison. When she had finished her work, she put me into a deep sleep, a healing sleep, she said. It was necessary to allow my new, abominable wing to settle in. I have been in that sleep until now. What grand experiment was Areelu planning when she captured you? She wanted to perfect her accursed wound. The second opening, as she called it. The rift was to be larger and more stable, opening a road to Golarion from new abyssal realms. What shocked me was that she talked about the disastrous consequences of her plan with total equanimity, as though they were minor details that were but a distraction from the experiment itself. I also know that her experiment required a mortal soul, perhaps as a sacrifice in some dark rite that would siphon the mortal's life force and use it for perverse ends. I heard, or rather pieced together from what I overheard, that the soul belonged to a child. Areelu, like many demons and demonic spellcasters, has the ability to wrest souls from their bodies and contain them in special vessels. The vessel containing that soul was delivered to the laboratory soon after I was brought here. Areelu was unusually distressed that day. She talked to me more than usual. That's when I learned the details of her plan. I was aghast when I realized that she was discussing the soul of a child, a soul which she likely wished to sacrifice. I cannot describe the horror I felt. What's wrong with your wing? It is the work of Areelu. The wing is fully functional. Its creator isn't known as the architect for nothing, but it frightens me. There is more of the abyss in this wing than in the eyes of an enraged Baelor. Finian's voice trembles. I'm sorry. I'm so sorry that this happened to her. It's terrible. She should never have been. No living creature should ever be treated like that. He sort of talks from repressed experience, Finian. He's been turned into a living weapon, hasn't he? Why didn't you get out of here or summon the warriors of heaven to help you? Even the goddess cannot hear me within these walls. This place, it belongs to the abyss, not the material plane. I could not call for help, only pray for a miracle. Perhaps your arrival is the answer to that prayer. I know what it's like, being cut off from everything you know, from everything that makes you who you are, whispers Arushale. The angel's gaze stops on the succubus and flames blaze up in her eyes. Demon? Weren't you one of my captors? The succubus instinctively bares her teeth in response and hisses threateningly. Her claws grow long and suddenly you see the older Areelu, the fearsome demon of the abyss. Stop it! Don't even think of hurting each other! Ember's words diffuse the tense atmosphere like cold water thrown on a fire. Forgive me. I spent too long slumbering and my self-control is diminished. I should not have been so hasty to deem your companion an enemy. Can you tell me anything about this place? I only know a little. Areelu once let it slip that this refuge is where she wrote the Lexicon of Paradox, the book of dark magic containing the secret to the world wound's creation. That means this place is older than the wound itself. Areelu must have created it, at least in part, before her great atrocity. I was astonished at the strange way she seemed to speak of this laboratory. It was as if she despised this place, yet she tried not to show it. There was a moment when I wondered if this hatred was a sign of her contrition. But I was mistaken. Areelu Vorlesh is incapable of feeling contrite, even for a heartbeat. She is like a tempest, hurtling forward and sweeping aside everything in its path. I unsealed the way out. You are free. Free? Then let's leave here at once. May the light of Iomade be with you. I can't believe I'm going to see the sky again. What time is it, I wonder? Morning, afternoon, evening? 20 years. Will my wife and son even recognize me? Are they still alive? Yeah, get out of here, guys. You are free.
Precisely.
I think then that is everything that we found in here. Let's leave. Oh, whoops.
Always watch your back.
I like that she's got this sort of... Oh yeah, we tried that door. I like that there's this blend of seemingly modern or even futuristic technology in an otherwise very, medieval fantasy world. It's unsettling. It really makes this place feel different. That door's still locked, okay. Maybe we come back here later or something. But to the hut. We can finally loot this place. Yeah, when we came in, first thing I clicked was the lab equipment over here. An old cauldron with the smell of alcohol still lingering around it. It is smashed beyond repair. And the lab equipment was the lure to get us into the laboratory. The coverlet on the bed looks like it would crumble to dust at the slightest touch. Okay, let's go out. Freedom. I guess we have to walk back from wherever we are. We were teleported here. No sign of being able to teleport out. Oh, we are quite far away. Okay. Let's look at the army. Maybe we can clear a bit of a route. It looks like we'll come up this way. Nope. I guess it's this route here that leads down then. Can I take this army? No, I want to save it to try and clear the way. We've got more recruits now, though. Bandits, barbarians, and more clerics. Cool. Firstly, we'll get some more of the standard troops. You guys can make your way down here. the clerics as well. Well, bandits are ranged. Could go with them. There's so much army management to do. And crusade management, it would seem. Let's just have a look. Lan asks for an audience. Lan wants to speak with the commander about what he can do to help her in the crusade. Report. Karamzaden's army was undone, along with his plans to retake Dresden. The arrogant leader of the demonic host did not deign to join the fight in person. He took flight, abandoning his soldiers. Oh, we've got another logistics level up. We'll do that when we finish studying the Sword of Valor. Okay. Well, I guess we can teleport back, can't we? I think the teleportation circle in Dresden is finished. Yep, okay. So we can teleport back. We don't have to trek all the... How would we even do that? There doesn't even seem to be a bridge over here. But okay, so I guess maybe then in other playthroughs you just make your way here on foot. Let's teleport back to Dresden and enter. Why is it still showing? You paladins can make your way down here and back up here. Just do a bit of scouting for the route. Oh, this army could have another unit in it. I got all of our armies a level up. Tell you what, that army can have the barbarians. Oh, I can't afford them. No worries. Right. Let's go into Dresden first, and then we'll report back to our court. Let them know where their ritual sent us. They were talking about how it was going to send us to Elysium or let us talk to Desna. So I just jumped right in and did it. I forgot that it forced you to do Areelu's laboratory. But I don't mind, we've done it now. It was fun. It was really eerie in there. Like, most locations have some sort of backing track, where that just had really, like, I just had ambient sounds and no music at all. It had a really had a really sinister effect. There is nothing more pleasant than making someone happier. Ember. Some say that being a kind person is hard work, that most people can't do it. Is that true? Look at the people standing next to you. Don't you want to love these people? Is it so hard to smile at them? To say a kind word? To share with those in need? Don't you feel joy when you do something good for others? And isn't it wonderful when they do the same for you? Kindness is the easiest and most pleasant thing in the world. A crowd has gathered in the street, young and old, civilians and soldiers. Everyone is listening to the frail elf girl, captivated by her delicate voice as it rings out. And what about ungrateful arseholes, huh? You do good for them, they just shit on you in return. Just don't be like them, and don't get angry at these people. They don't know what they are doing. Don't abandon them to their silliness and sins. Keep doing good, and you will see. Sooner or later, they will realise they were wrong. What is this meeting? This? I'm just talking to good people who want to listen. That girl can talk. Of course no one's going to live by her sermons, but listening to them is nicer than listening to bards and their songs. Speak for yourself, sinner. I feel myself getting better and kinder and more spiritual after every sermon. Really? Well, do a good deed then. Give me something from your shop for free. The end of the squabble is drowned out by the laughter of the crowd. Yeah, we'll do the good option. Address the crowd. Listen to her. She will teach you to live good lives. Right, Commander, that's for sure. Thank you for your kind words. I'm not saying anything special. These are simple things. Everyone knows them. Come on, keep talking. One man claps his hands. Others join in and claps and cries of encouragement. All right. I was talking about being kind to your neighbours. And look, the commander decided to set an example. The girl keeps preaching. We all die, maybe very soon. How can we waste our short lives fighting? So that's an Ember event. Hello, Lady Konomi. Lady Konomi almost begrudgingly looks away from her letters and gives you a polite nod. Commander? Tell me more about yourself, Lady Konomi. Lady Konomi lowers her eyes in a show of modesty. It is unbecoming of a diplomat to talk about themselves at length, but how am I to refuse you? I come from Tianzi, from the noble Kitsune. Like any Kitsune, I've always been curious to a fault. I feel like we've read this before. And my adventures brought me to Avestan, and here in your lands I met my first and true love, politics. Yeah, I've definitely read this before. I've served as a diplomat in the courts of 6 different sovereigns, but working for Her Majesty turned out to be the most interesting of all. Such riveting webs of intrigue and interest are spun around the Crusade and the World Wound. I have to go, good day. Yeah, I think we talked about those things with her when we were first introduced to her. Oh, this is the garden that we grew. We revived it with our Azata powers. I think, if I remember correctly, later on we can get an instant... This will kind of instantly transport us to our court. Let's go to our court. We'll do a rest and then we'll travel to the... We'll do the event that it said about Lan. And then we'll travel to our court. And let them know that their ritual was a disaster. It's a good thing we built the teleportation circle. It would have taken a long time to walk back. Lan looks resolute and serious. Nest, we've got ourselves settled in here, so it's time to go back for the mongrels. If we don't do it, Sol will keep stalling until Iomade herself comes down to drag him out. Why do you want to go back for them? You showed them the light of heaven. The shield maze has fallen. The ancient Mongol prophecy has come true. They want to go up to the surface, but they're afraid of taking the first step on their own. I can understand them. My father would have never gone to the surface if my mum hadn't encouraged him. Everyone needs support before taking an important step. Besides, you helped the young ones, saved them from the eternal curse or whatever that demon and Wenduwag tried to cast on them. If they don't follow you now, I'm afraid another Savamelek might come along and take advantage of them again. Why are you coming to me with this now? Lan hesitates. You know, I just had so much on my plate. First we were running around putting out fires in Canabras, then we were running away from the gargoyles, then we were running to save Dresden. Why don't we run to the caves now? I could ask the Queen to summon the mongrels as crusaders. Sol would like a real decree with a seal, but asking you is easier for me. Asking a queen about such a little thing is awkward, and you don't seem to have anything to do right now, you know, because managing a huge fortress is so easy. Well, let's go. We can always use more fighters. Lan smiles. Call me when you're ready to go. I'll be waiting. Do you have anything to inform Irabeth about? No. Maybe early sunset? No. Anevia? I have to go. Cool. Let's rest. Oh, I need to remember to get the I need to remember to get a new scroll scribing kit because I would like to scroll some of the mass animal enchantments. Mass Cat's Grace would be good. Just do a haste scroll. In case what happened to Woljif last time happens again. Yeah, we'll just rest for 9 hours.
I know you hate demons, but since we're fighting together, perhaps we could...
No, we could not.
Yeah, Reginald's definitely going to keep Areelu at an arm's distance. He was not happy when we recruited her. Okay, let's go straight out. I want to go to the court. I don't want to waste time.
Careful now.
I'm still waiting for Night Gamblers to happen. Oh, we could do our mythic ranks as well. Although I'm not entirely sure. What do I want to get? I guess I'll have a look at the options. Yeah, definitely is. Yeah, Azata. Mythic feat. Weapon finesse. Oh, we don't need weapon finesse because we have fencing grace. Weapon focus and weapon specialization are good. We could get an extra... No, we don't need an extra feat. We could get an extra mythic ability. But I don't think any of these are that necessary for us. Yeah, we'll stick with the... We'll stick with these. Your critical strikes with your chosen weapon are deadlier than most. Your critical multiplier with your chosen weapon is increased by 1. That's good. Double the bonuses on your attack rolls from weapon focus and greater weapon focus. That's good. The damage when you using your chosen weapon, you gain a bonus equal to half your mythic rank on damage rolls. This stacks with weapon specialization and greater weapon. Okay, we'll definitely get those at some point. Let's go with... Yeah, we'll go with improved critical on our S stock. Oh, okay, so these are our Azata specific choices. There are some superpowers that we can choose. We're probably not going to go with life bonded friendship because we don't have that much charisma, but that basically gives you teamwork feats. Oh, wait, the Azata chooses one teamwork feat during this and the next mythic rank up. She shares the effects of all teamwork feats she has with allies within a 50-foot area. So that's not bad. Definitely not bad. I think that all skilled, favourable magic, and then either zippy magic or incredible might are probably the ones we're going to go with. We use the haste spell, so I'm not too worried about supersonic speed. It just means the Azata is always under the effect of the haste spell, as long as she's engaged in combat. Although that's all still pretty good. But all skilled, Azata gains a bonus equal to her mythic rank on all skill checks. Whenever she makes a skill check, she rolls the die twice and chooses the best result. She also becomes proficient with all types of weapons and armor. I actually don't know if we really need that. It's useful, but we've not been losing skill checks. That would be useful earlier on when we were losing a lot of skill checks. Azata's magic becomes incredibly more powerful. Whenever an enemy makes a saving throw against her spells, they roll the die twice and take the worst result. Whenever the Azata makes a concentration check, or a check to overcome spell resistance, she rolls twice and takes the best result. If the Azata casts a spell whose descriptor says that a successful saving throw halves the damage... Yeah, we'll definitely go favourable magic first, and then maybe all skilled later. We get another spell. We'll take Unbreakable Heart, seeing as that has come in useful. And then some level 2 spells. Are these a bit better? Aid's pretty good. Castigate. You compel the target to beg for forgiveness. On a failed save, the target cowers in fear. Hideous Laughter. This spell afflicts the subject with uncontrollable laughter. It collapses into gales of manic laughter. Let's go with Aid and Hideous Laughter. We also get some more songs, it seems. Removes fatigue and exhausted effects from all party members. That's good. The spell damages all enemies within a 30-foot area while channeling positive energy. Oh, that's great. Okay. And Field of Flowers. Oh, it's an entanglement spell. Cool. Yeah, level 2 is a bit more impressive than level 1. I'll look at the rest of the party later. Because it ends up taking a minute. Right, I have a bone to pick with you, Ilks, and Arianka and Wallflower, or Fool even. You sent me all over the place. Fool. Still, I think she's been away too long. I've tried to trace the teleportation twice and failed. Surely you don't mean that we teleported Nest, the champion of the gods, the Crusaders' Knight Commander, and our friend to a random point in space, with no way of knowing exactly where? Ilks is clearly beginning to panic. That's exactly what you did, and a great adventure it was too. Nest, you're back! What was it like? Was it beautiful? Asked Saranka with bated breath, as her friends erupt in cheers and whoops of jubilation. The ritual brought me to Areelu's laboratory, where she kept her prisoners. I tried to help them. Aranka's eyes widen. Oh, but we never even considered that. We never thought your soul would be calling you to a place of corruption and suffering instead of beauty. We never thought that you could be on that could be your mission. Incredible! We've got to try again. Thul the Wallflower takes a deep breath to speak and says with all the determination he can muster, "No way. I'm not teleporting our friend to an unknown destination ever again. We'll try once more if we improve the ritual to make it more predictable, but to be honest, I'm not sure it can be done." You silly ducks.
Precisely.
Right, let's actually look around the rest of this place since we didn't last time. The mysterious word Valhalflings has been carved in the stone. Halfling warriors. We're not mere halfling warriors, we're the Valhalflings. Nice. The halflings' dummies for combat training. Each dummy has a sign lovingly attached to it displaying a name such as Gwend the Meanie or Tubby the Strawman. You have to make training fun, don't you? Melted rocks, colourful stains left by various substances, and a strange smell indicate the presence of Matrus Olad Devara, the alchemist. These are among the people. A bunch of ragtag people joined our party or our court last time. Matrus Olad Devara. Why do I keep dropping everything? Clumsiness is no laughing matter for an alchemist who works with explosives. How'd you like it here in the court? It's simply wonderful. You have no idea how tired I am of prejudice. Why are people so horrible to alchemists who worships the god of inebriance, I ask you? Are any of your potions for sale, Matrus? Of course. It's not just potions either. My friends bring me all sorts of goods to sell, and when I say all sorts, I mean it. Let's see what you have for sale. Earth's Embrace. The shirt grants its wearer a +2 enhancement bonus to Constitution, a +4 bonus on saving throws against fire, and a +4 competence bonus on law nature checks. That's good. Might buy that. Sunfire Gloves. When the wearer of these gloves lands a hit with a ranged weapon on an enemy within 30 feet, it deals an additional bit of damage. Okay. Okay. That's not too fussed about that one. Do you have any scrolls of heal? It was brought to my attention that maybe we need those. Okay, you know what? Let's buy Earth's Embrace. And we'll sell off some of the junk we found in the laboratory. To make it cheaper. Deal. I could give that to Albrig. Oh, hold on, my mouse is freaking out. What are you doing? Don't know what happened there, but my mouse was deciding just to not work for a bit. Seems to be working fine now. Ivu, the lovely dragon, was here. If you're reading this, give me a cookie. Ivu, you can't vandalise the place. Where is... Oh yeah, we need to talk to the maestro. we'll come up here. Maestro Aventurine. Would you kindly dismount, my esteemed colleague? Maestro Aventurine speaks politely and softly, but his stiff expression indicates that it is costing him a great deal of effort. I'm a cavalry sculptor. My mount is an essential part of my art. You wouldn't think of asking an ordinary artist to put away their chisel when discussing art, now would you? That essential part of your art has already tried to chew up my sketch folder twice, remarks the street artist sourly, but he doesn't protest any further. So, as regards the gist of our argument, oh, here is the mistress of the court. Do excuse us, we were absorbed in a rather heated discussion. What were you arguing about? The same old question that made me ask our good Desnan to adepts to invite you over for a chat, Commander, replies the artist loftily. Surely you have heard already. Ever since you created a garden on this ridge, many items buried here have been quite literally transformed. You have created a truly magical place. This rift can transform even the most trivial of things. It's hard for me to describe the elation it brings me. This is what true art should be like. It is a reminder that we can always transform our own story into a fairy tale. However, certain creative differences arose when we began discussing how to put the ridge's miraculous properties to good use. You see, some of the transformed items become edible, whereas others would make the perfect material for mosaic pieces. I would like to create a piece of rupestral art using the latter, but the esteemed cavalry sculptors have other plans for them. Yeah, right. Who in their right mind would take magic items from the magic rock that turned into a garden right in the middle of the world wound and use them for an ordinary picture or mosaic? We've got a better idea. An edible sculpture. We're going to create the most innovative work of art in the history of Mendev, or even Golarion, and then let the public devour it. A tasty treat, hooray! A huge gingerbread demon, right? Then again, seeing the ridge covered in a beautiful mosaic would be a terrific too. Tell me again how items are being transformed. I'll tell her myself. So all you do is grab something useless and put it in a hole in the ground, and then poof! It becomes nice and shiny, but still useless. Or even better, it becomes edible and tasty, and not useless anymore. Yes, it is exactly as Ivu's said. Ever since you turned this patch of corrupted land into a garden, certain items buried in its soil have randomly transformed into something else. Why can't we just do both? It's all about what's novel, Commander. The first work of art created from the magical transformed items of your court will be, the gnome pauses and proclaims grandly, a major event. But the second work of art, not so much. We've already seen that, is all the people will have to say. So you've got to choose. I like the idea of an edible sculpture. Maestro Aventurine looks at you in disbelief and then sighs heavily. I'm too old for all this. Hey, cheer up, my friend. The biggest piece of our sculpture will be yours for the eating. Now, Commander, we'll need some help to make it. It will be good if you could obtain any items that will transform into tasty treats and bury them here in the court. We need at least 30 of them. We can't do it without you. What items turn into tasty treats? 30 edible things transformed by burying them on the ridge. 30's a lot. I hope I can bury more than one at a time.
Always watch your back.
And where do I go to bury them? What does it want from me again? Gather 30 ingredients from our lists and give them to whichever one of us you consider more worthy of the opportunity to craft a masterpiece. I need coloured mosaic pieces. These are the most colourful items transformed by our garden court. And we need edible stuff for an edible sculpture. I have to go. Where do we do the burying then? Oh, is it here? Magical transmutating soil, it looks like it. So we can only put potion... I guess because we sold all our junk. Okay, so keep in mind to not sell all our junk. You can take the inflict light wounds. We'll see what that does. They said they have a list. I guess we just have to trial and error it. Okay. Will it happen if we rest? Do you guys have anything more to say? Oh, yeah, you do. I'd love to see what Iva will be like when she grows up. Adult dragons of her kind possess unique abilities. That said, that story about being able to breathe candy is probably made up. You all are amazing people. It's like Desna herself kissed each of you. As soon as you gathered together, a little Elysium started to emerge around you. But if you hadn't saved us, we would never have wound up here. We would never have wound up anywhere at all. Without you, there'd be no court at all. But without us, you would have never have heard the song. We all helped each other. Aranka looks into the sky with an enigmatic smile. Desna is playing a beautiful melody, and we, all of us here, are like the notes. If even one of us were missing, there would be no harmony. But together, we can reach for the stars. Point at Areelu. There's someone I'd like you to meet. Arushale's eyes go wide and she clasps her hands in a defensive gesture. Hi. I know who you are, and you probably know who I am. Ilks looks even more flabbergasted than when your powers transformed the ridge into a flowering garden. You! I recognise your voice. You're the one who sent us those visions and warned us about the attack on Canabris. And you're... a demon, Areelu says in a sad, quiet voice. The demon who helped us and who was able to use Desna's magic. I'm at a loss for words. What's your name? Why did you start helping the Crusaders? Why don't you come over for tea someday? Do demons even drink tea? Oh, there are so many things I want to ask you. As the young man gushes, Arushale's hands loosen their grip and she smiles weakly. My name is Areelu. I'll certainly take you up on your offer, if I have some time to spare after the raids with the commander. I'm so thrilled to meet you all. Areelu turns to you and whispers, Thank you, Nest. Those three were the first mortals who listened to me and believed me. So bright and lively, all three of them. I had no idea what they'd think when they found out who the voice from their dreams belonged to. I still have to tell them what I've done, how I murdered a Desnan priestess before I became what I am. Still, I'm glad they didn't spurn me at first sight. What's the general mood in the court? Things are going splendidly. The court is a wonder, pure and simple. Soon its fame will spread far beyond Mendev. I'm sure it will be the talk of the Abyss, too. Ha! Why did you believe I was the one who could improve our odds in the war with the demons? You probably think we only followed you because of your power, but that's not true. Or rather, it's more than that. We believe that your power is just a consequence. The gods must have seen something in you. That's why they chose you as their champion. You helped us in Canabres, even though the city's prelate denounced us as criminals. Few would have done what you did. The Crusaders have never had a commander like you before. By Desna's stars, I don't want to disparage those who have fought bravely and shed their blood for us, but we've made no headway for the last 4 years, and for good reason. The commanders of our paladins seem to believe that all you need to do to win is form a column and march bravely headlong toward evil. If the Fifth Crusade followed the same logic, we just fell again. With you, Nest, everything should be different. It already is. Our endeavour here, I mean the court and the Free Crusaders, looks a little crazy, but for all we know, a little bravery and madness might be exactly what the Crusades have been missing. How are things going in my court? It's not exactly calm and tranquil, but at least it's a lot of fun. We're settling in and making preparations to fight off demons if we have to. I don't think they'd like the idea of an incredible place like this existing in this rotten wound of theirs. Still, there are a lot of us, and we have many talents. We can handle it. Remind me again what you do. We'll do that last. Tell me about yourself. How did you all become followers of Desna? If the three of us start talking all at once, which happens quite often, you won't be able to make anything out. Aranka smiles coyly. Ilks, what's your story? My family are some of the few humans allowed to live in Kyonin, the land of the elves. I was born in Greengold and often travelled with my parents through the elven forests or sailed the elven rivers. We occasionally got lost, but I always found the way home. My parents quickly realised that there was a reason for that. I was guided by some peculiar power. I turned my prayers to Desna. It was a childish faith I had and childish prayers I offered, but they worked. Those marked by Desna rarely sit still for long. I soon left home to see the world and wandered until I ended up in Canabras. Wounded crusaders were being brought into the city at the time, and there was a terrible shortage of priests and healers. When I saw the faces of the wounded, I realised that no matter how amazing the world was, my heart would never be at peace if I didn't stay there and help. Can you tell me about yourself, Aranka? My family are of the lesser nobility, but mother, father and grandmother never bragged about their titles. We had a nice little estate the size of a medium farmstead, a house overgrown with ivy, a couple of big shaggy dogs, and even shaggier horses. Aranka's smile shines as brightly as the sun. I love my home and my family, but my talents as a bard and the call for adventure never let me stay home for long. My parents have never minded. Father used to joke that he'd rather let me roam the world than have to keep dragging me down off the blades of the old mill I love to climb. So with my parents' blessing I travelled and refined my art until I met Ilks in Canabras and realised that's where I belonged. It's your turn, Wallflower. My story is the least interesting. Out of us three, I'm the only one from Mendev. An orphan. My parents, like those of many others, died in the Crusade. I always wanted to be a wizard, but I didn't begin my studies until quite late. Finding opportunities to learn magic in an orphanage is hard. Actually, there aren't that many wizards among Desna's worshippers. She mostly attracts bards and travellers. But I just happened to enter her shrine one day, and I knew in an instant that I wanted to stay. Before I found the shrine of Desna that day, I had only ever seen temples of Iomedae and Adabar. I had this idea in my head that temples were always grand and solemn, but Desna's shrine was more like a tent at a carnival, and the service a joyous performance. I must have seen creatures of all races there, and even a few fae. Everyone was in high spirits, dancing merrily to the singing of a bard. It was one of Aranka's famous concerts. That's when I met her and Ilks and immediately joined the temple, and that's where I stayed. I think Nest came to Desna. I think I had her backstory that her mother was an adventurer, and so she was often off a lot. So it would make sense if she was a traveller that she might be into Desna, and then when she died, maybe Nest picked it up and stuck with it. Remind me again what you do and what your goals are. Anything and everything. We help your free crusaders with their raids in the Worldwound. We research how your power affects the environment. We also oversee the court, the quality of life here, and the defence in case of a demon attack. I have to go. See you and good luck. May the stars guide you. Okay, if we rest here, will that trigger the transformation? Let's try it out. Woljif, get back on night watch. Achoo! Achoo! Ulbrich, what are you doing? What is that smelly powder? Mustard seeds. Ground up and charmed on the stone at midnight. It's to stop you putting the evil eye on me, just in case. A great remedy against fey enchantments. Give her a break, Ulbrich. Okay, let's go see if that triggered the transformation. Maybe it needs to be 24 hours. But if potions turn into food, then we can just... No, still there. We'll come back later then. When we have potentially more items to try and drop in. Okay, let's... Or is there anything else? Oh, we'll go and see these guys. They probably don't have anything to say, but we'll go and say hello anyway. Down with the pikeman confectioneers, says the inscription made with pebbles. Oh yeah, they were saying that they had arrived. Oh, there's another one. Cool. We're the cavalry sculptors. Tomorrow is ours. Okay, have another potion here. I guess that helps if you need 30, that there's more than just one hole. Maybe there's multiple actually. Oh yeah, there's 3. Okay, I can't be bothered to run all the way back up there. Let's go back to Dresden, and then I think we'll do our mythic ranks for our companions, and then maybe call it there for today. But then we'll go and do the dragon hunt. Can we got some Crusader movement? We do. Lovely. Seeing as we're not going down there now, you can circle back around and take on this level 8 army. I think you can handle it. Especially if we can fireball both of these at once. Lovely. Okay, archers finish off that group. And mages start weakening, or sorcerers, sorry, start weakening this group. I doubt we'll need the dogs. No trouble. Easy. Level 8 army, my foot. Wonder when Sealer's next event will happen. The old mines where dwarves would mine priceless crystals are now abandoned. The group of demons that had made its lair there tried to defend their territory from the Crusaders, but to no effect. More material points daily. That's good. And then main army. You circle back round and meet with the recruits. We still need to give you a 6th position. We might as well just put the paladins in there, mightn't we? Why not? It would save us having to keep track of so many tiny little armies. You go there. You join them. There you go. There you go. That's fine. Level 3 army there. Oh yeah, I was going to move you down. Let's put the duelists in here. Yeah, that's fine. Okay. Let's enter Dresden. Battered Spirit in the Citadel, okay. Who's Battered Spirit about? Is that Irabeth? No? Let's check. Battered Spirit. Oh, the commander did everything in her power to ensure that Irabeth could establish herself as the leader of the Dresden Crusade. All that remains is to wait and watch. So it is Irabeth. Okay. Right, let's level up. We'll just do our main squad. Areelu. Deadly Aim Mythic, I'm guessing. When you use Deadly Aim, you gain a +3 bonus on range damage rolls instead of +3. Just improving that. And Darren, what's yours? I mean, we could give you greater enduring spells now, couldn't we? Let's just check. That's probably what my choice will be. I'll see if that's conducive with. Yeah, it is. Cool. Enduring spells. So the first level effects of your spells on your allies that should last longer than an hour, but shorter than 24 hours, now last 24 hours. That's not as convenient, but the But the second level of that is very convenient because it does it for anything that lasts over 5 minutes, which is most of his buffs. What for? We could give that to Ember too. Though we have less buffs with her. Okay. The suggestion is Sorceress Reflex. When you cast the first spell after an initiative roll, oh, you can cast the first spell if that spell is either of a first level or is at least 2 levels lower than the maximum level of spells you can cast. Okay. That's cool. I'm fine with giving her that. Sounds useful. Woolgif. I kind of want to give him enduring spells. I kind of wish we'd given that instead of Ever Ready. The suggestion is improved critical dagger, though. Yeah, we'll go for that. We want him to do as much damage as possible. And Ulbrig. Is it improved critical as well? For your claws? Ulbrig Guide. Yes. What a guess. Just everyone doing more critical hits. That's what we want. Okay. Just going to go outside and see if that triggers the... We're still waiting for the Gambler event to happen. But if we just end up outside, I think I'm going to call it there. Okay, you'd think it'd be loading when the screen was black. Okay, there you go. Okay. No. Oh, we can talk to Odin. Okay, we'll end it with talking to Captain Odin. Gives you a polite nod. What can I do for you, Commander? You've had encounters with Koramzadem before, haven't you? Only in the halls of my mind. Back when I was a young lieutenant dreaming of the title of Crusade Commander, and who among us hasn't dreamed of being in your shoes, Commander? At least for a little while. I knew I would one day meet him on the battlefield. I'm sure there are more powerful demons in the world wound, but in this war, where entire armies fight for victory rather than individual warriors, he is Mendev's greatest enemy. I'd studied countless reports on battles against him, played out countless of his historic battles in my head, trying to spot his mistakes. I did spot a few, or so I'd hoped, but I never had the chance to put it into test. I moved up in rank, knowing that the day when we would come face to face was drawing ever closer, the most important day of my life. I could feel that it was very close. Tell me about your military career. My family has lived in Mendev for generations, simple but prosperous folk. Even as a child I was interested in the study of warfare, and I always knew that I'd end up joining the ranks of professional soldiers. After serving for 3 years as a cadet in the capital, I went to Lastwall, where I graduated from the Crusader War College with honours. Then I returned to Mendev. For 25 years I fought many battles as part of various border units. As a result of my service, I was distinguished by command with a promotion to the rank of captain, and a subsequent transfer to headquarters. Captain Odin falters and his expression darkens. He remains silent for a while, then shakes his head and continues. Now that I didn't have to do drills, I had time to focus on studying tactics and strategy. My fellow officers called my desk the archive because it was always covered with manuscripts and military treatises. Alas, I never did become a commander, even though it was my childhood dream, but I was able to become a competent enough officer to be serving directly under your authority. I hope you'll find my knowledge useful. I get the feeling you've had your share of pain on the front lines. Captain Odin presses his lips together. No more than the soldiers from my squad. My last battle was at Villareth Ford's outpost, north of Canabras. The demons, they brought flames down upon us. I'd never seen anything like it. Walls of fire spewing out fireballs. 300 soldiers turned into screaming, burning meat. And, believe it or not, in the light of that cursed flame, the battlefield was dark as a cave. The smoke was so thick you couldn't see any further away than your own hand. We held that day, but the price was high. I paid mine as well. It took a miracle for the clerics to pull me out of my melted armour, and it took me 4 years before I could remain calm near fire. Any fire, even candlelight. Well, it's like in your picture you've got candles there. Well, I don't know why he's the only one of the advisors that has a picture. I thought they'd write me off as psychologically broken, but instead I was promoted. Apparently in that inferno, we managed to deflect a terrible blow and protect Canabris from the attack of a superior force. Apparently we were heroes, as unyielding as a rock. I didn't know that at the time. We were just fighting. Burning and fighting. I have to go. I'm always at your service, Commander. Okay, well on that slightly depressing note, we're going to call it there. Thank you for watching. If you would like to keep following the series, you could subscribe. I'm going to post daily, and leave a like or a comment if you're feeling generous. Yeah, see you later. Bye.